seeing some mistakes on it, so mount please. If Nas is riding high, whether you're going to go for any escape from here, right? My first goal is to get my elbows next to my ribs for two reasons. Number one, it actually facilitates the escape. Number two, I'm not as big in danger of being submitted. Right now I can control my elbows, you can go for chokes, there's not much I can do. So if you find your opponent's knees under your elbows, whether it's this high up or even a little bit, I'm going to shoulder walk. I'm going to push my elbows down as I start walking my shoulders in conjunction with my feet. So shoulder walk, shoulder walk, shoulder walk, shoulder walk, shoulder walk, until at least my elbows are next to my ribs again here, okay? When I do the trap and roll, I can do, let me just start from the beginning. When I do the trap and roll, I need to control his grips, right? I'm going to treat this like no-gi for now. I'm going to control his hands here. From here, again, my goal is to pull him to the floor, but obviously he's going to resist. So there's no way that my bicep curl beats his deadlift. So we got to use a little bit of technique. As I pull his hands to the mat, I off balance him in order to get his hands to the floor. Now, I'm going to go left. So I let go of my right hand, get it above the crook of his elbow, and pull his arm in towards my chest. This grip, the way I'm doing it, is not the way you have to do it. As long as he can't stick his arm out, it's a good grip. So if you're in the gi, you might just literally be holding on to the arm like this. Some guys hold on to the gi up top and down low. However you can get it so that he can't stick his arm out, great. We got rid of one post, now we got to get rid of the other. So I'm going to take my left foot, I'm going to cast a wide net, hook his ankle, and not only do I hook his ankle, watch, I point my knee out and I bring his foot in towards my butt. Now it's a little bit more comfortable for me to bridge. My other foot, on the other hand, cannot be on the outside of his foot. It's going to turn into an anchor. So the side I'm going to, I make sure I trap. The opposite side, I make sure is free. From here, I'm looking 45 degrees. Right before I go, I'm going to shift I'm going left, so I'm going to shift my body to the right here and open up just a little bit of a bigger angle. That's going to help me take him over. The only resistance that I want your partner to do is try and stop yourself by bringing the opposite hand over. So if I go 90 degrees here, Nas should be able to stop himself using this arm. However, if I open up this angle here, look where I'm going and bridge, even if he brings that arm over, I should be able to get the sweep, or to get the escape from here. Any questions? Go, all right, on three. 1, 2, 3. And then we're gonna combine the bridge and the shrimp. So again, same thing, he's riding high, shoulder walk, shoulder walk, shoulder walk, shoulder walk. Sit up just so people can see. All right. When I do the shrimp escape, I need to get on my side. Remember, with the exception of a full guard situation, a flat body isn't a mobile body. I'm going to go to my left. The side that I'm going to straighten out that leg completely here. Again, I see a lot of this. I see a lot of you guys getting caught on top of your opponent's leg. That's not flat to the ground. Get your leg flat to the ground, please. Okay? Using my right foot and my body, I'm going to turn until I'm firmly on my left hip here. Okay? What that's going to allow me to do is to take my right leg, use my heel to hook his ankle, and get it in between my legs here. Okay? Rewind one step. If I'm having trouble, I might consider using my foot and my hand to get his leg in between my legs. Or another option is, go put your leg back. Another option is to use my foot as a hook to hook his leg in between my legs here. Okay? Don't get too caught up in the weeds with that. For now, as white belts, I want his his ankle in between your legs for the quarter guard. Okay? So if you hear me yell, go for the quarter guard, this is what I mean. My next job is to deposit his knee where his ankle is. Okay? I don't have a lot of pushing power here, right? Can't really push like this. Can't really push with my elbow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my elbow to freeze his knee into place, and I'm going to bring my bottom knee up to my face here until I've caught his ankle. Okay? From here, I'm going to rotate all the way to the other side. My bottom hand becomes a top hand when I rotate. That's the hand that's going to block the cross face. Okay? So from here, I rotate all the way to the other side. If he were down low, he'd be trying to cross face me. My left hand is blocking his cross face. My right hand is on his knee or his hip here. Okay? From here, I'm going to use my left foot. Look, I've trapped him in the half guard right now. My left hand is blocking his cross face. My right hand is on his hip. I'm in a perfect shrimping position because I'm already on my right hip. I'm going to use my left foot to shrimp back to make space and slide either my knee or my foot into the closed guard position here with inside control on the arms. Okay. Let's look at that again. A lot of steps to this. Okay? Shoulder walk if you have to, right? Step 1, straighten out the leg. Step 2, turn towards the side that you straighten. I straighten out my left leg, so I roll to my left. Step 3, get his ankle in between your ankles, however you can. Step 4, I'm going to bring my bottom knee up to deposit his knee where his ankle is now, in between my legs. Step 5, I'm going to rotate all the way to the other side, making sure I block the crossface and making sure I have a hand on either his hip or his knee. Again, I'm rotating all the way to the other side, automatically blocking his crossface and automatically posting on either his hip or his knee. What are we at? Step 7? Step 7, I'm going to shrimp back, make space. Again, I might have to shrimp more than once. Make space for either my knee or my foot to come into closed guard here. Any questions? All right, let's give it a try. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Go over the combination. My failed bridge is going to be the first step of my shrimp. That's it. We're not really going over anything new. We're just kind of reiterating what we did in a combination. So maybe, let's say I got here, and I tried to bridge to my left. But for whatever reason, it didn't work, right? Maybe I forgot a leg. Maybe I did get the leg, but he's just too strong, or he posts out, or whatever, right? I'm going to give my maximum effort bridge, and he's just going to block it however he can, right? So maximum effort here. As soon as I hit that wall, watch what I do. I fall onto my left side as I straighten out my left leg here. And look, now I'm already in step 1 for my shrimp, right? I get the ankle, and then I get the knee. I come over as I block the crossface, which isn't here right now, which is fine, and I shrimp my way back to the closed guard. That's all we're doing. The last step of a failed bridge is the first step of the shrimp, which is get to your side, right? So we'll do it again one more time real slow. Shoulder walk if you have to, trap the arm. I'm legitimately doing the bridge, right? Boom, good posture, good everything, but my opponent's gonna give me a lot of resistance. Here, as soon as I hit the wall, I straighten out my leg and I get it to the floor. Don't just drop on your opponent's leg, because remember, you went from trapping the leg to trying to get it on the floor. So if you just drop it, you're gonna be on top of your opponent's ankle. So here, boom, you straighten out, get it to the floor. You gotta move it back a little bit. And now I continue on to my regular shrimp escape. Okay, any questions?
All right, we got Vince on top and Chris on the bottom, running the drill. Chris looks like he's trapped the right foot. He's got both legs trapped. Looks like he wants to go left. Okay, anytime your opponent's knee comes off the ground like this, it means their weight is not down on the ground, right? Their weight's on their foot here. These guys haven't learned the a version of the shrimp where you actually bring your knees inside here, right? So instead of trapping the foot like we did today, you basically find a light limb, in which case would be Vince's right leg, and you shrimp your knee inside. That's what I would recommend for him here. We just haven't gone over that one yet. Yeah, right now would be a perfect situation. Stop. Anytime you see your opponent's leg off the ground, look, there's a giant gap right here. Of course, there's a little bit more experience. He would use his left hand to push down on that knee, get on his left side, and then bring his knee up through that gap there. And he'd be in like a half butterfly guard at the very least. He just doesn't know that yet. But hopefully, you guys, you do know that. Good. Rolls to his side, gets the quarter guard. Trent blocks the crossface on the other side. Good. Does a good job making his way back to the closed guard. Very good. I think they're going to run it back one more time. Looks like they got time for it. And shoulder walks back. Traps. If he's going to go to the right, I'd like to see him free his left ankle here. So if you're going to the right, you don't want your other side trapped, because as you bridge to your right, your opponent's going to use the trap foot to actually anchor himself to your leg. So it's going to be almost impossible to bridge him over. So again, if you're going to the right, you want to trap the right ankle. You want to leave the left ankle free. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened there. So you see Chris gets, I'm going to rewind this for a second. You see Chris gets stuck a little bit. He might actually end up getting the roll, but look, boom, right here. Because he was trapping both sides, again, he's going to his right, he trapped the right ankle, but he also trapped the left. It becomes an anchor for your opponent here. Yeah, and he does not get the turnover, the trap and roll. Now he's in a little bit of trouble. The S mount, and that's got Vince on top and Ernest on the bottom. He's bucking to get a little bit. Okay, I thought he turned to his side. No, he's still good. Yep, traps that right side. Doesn't get the leg, and that's why it didn't work. Vince is grapevining his legs, very efficient. Anytime someone's grapevining your legs, you want to straighten out one leg to the floor. So now Vince is riding high, trying to attack the arms. If your opponent has their legs underneath you, like this, it's going to be hard to escape. What I would recommend is in order to negate that, you have to straighten out one leg and get it completely to the floor. It's almost impossible to escape the mount if someone's legs are underneath you, whether they're tied or not. If their legs are underneath you or they're grapevining your ankles, very hard to escape, so you got to address that first. Ernest might be able to get a trap and roll to the right. I would recommend going to the right. He let go of the arm, though. Okay, now he's on his side. Again, just because these guys don't know it, but if you do know it, now would be a good time for Ernest to push down on Vince's floating knee, get on his left side, and bring his left knee through that gap. I think I said some... Oh, I think they were a little bit too close together. I think that's where the drilling round ends. Couple opportunities to escape, but overall not bad. Now we got Ernest on top and Vince on the bottom. Let's see how this round goes. Yep. See, look, this is the pretty much a standard position where one leg is flat and the other foot is on the ground here. Fishes over for the ankle, gets it, and very easy mount escape. That's your standard shrimp escape, day one stuff. You run it back. Yep. So that he got a really deep bite on Ernest's leg because Ernest was moving just as Vince turned. So instead of getting the ankle, he actually managed to get up all the way to his knee. Ernest doing a good job, a better job staying low and controlling the head this time. Looks like Vince is trying to go for the trap and roll. Okay, that was a strange. I've never seen that escape before. It was almost like a Kimura sweep from the mount position. Let's see what happens. He just got up onto an elbow. Just kind of bridged over. Hey, fair enough. The principles of the trap and roll remain true on that one. He froze Ernest's right leg and his right arm, and Ernest was unable to post as he got pitched over. And that's it for that round. We have Ernest on top here. Gabe, if you can see him on the bottom here. I believe this is from an actual sparring round. So they're not just drilling anymore. They're sparring. Already we see a problem. Ernest got both grapevines here. If someone's grapevining your legs, you straighten out one leg and you put it to the floor where they can't grapevine again. If they have one grapevine, very inefficient. If they have both grapevines, very efficient for them. Yeah, so Gabe is not addressing those grapevines. All right, Ernest, let's go up. And he puts them back in. Again, if you leave one leg on the floor, he can't get to the grapevine. Or both grapevines, I should say. Gabe is pushing that knee down, but he's not on his side, so he's not going to get anywhere with it. Looks like he's going for the trap and roll on his left. He's got Ernest's left arm in a pretty good grip. Now he's got his right arm. And he manages to get the escape. Very nice. We got Vince on the top here, Gabe on the bottom. Again, I believe this is the start of a sparring round, not a drilling round. See how it goes. Trapping that left side. Yep, okay, let's go back and look at that. That's exactly why we need to trap the foot that we're going to. So Gabe has a very good freeze on Vince's right arm, so he's going to go to his left. But he forgets to trap Vince's right foot, and watch what happens. Just out of natural instinct, boom. Gets a nice deep post. There's no way you're going to be able to pitch Vince's center of gravity over that leg when he's extended his base out so far. What that can lead to, that we haven't gone over yet, is if Gabe shrinks his butt back and gets on his right side, he could bring his right knee in through that gap. These guys haven't learned that yet, but if you're legitimately going to go for a trap and roll, gotta chop that foot. So obviously that fails. Yep, he gets on his side. He switches out to side control. Gabe doing a good job fighting that crossface. Gets on his right side. Okay, Vince is doing a very good job killing Gabe's post here by pulling on the elbow. That's a good move. Oh, and he tries to go to a knee on belly, but Gabe manages to push him into the closed guard. This is from another sparring round. We got Chris on top and Ernest on the bottom. This might be in the middle of the round. I just kind of filmed whenever someone got into mount, I would start recording. Chris doing a good job attacking the yards. Looks like he's going for a high key lock. Ernest gets on his side. Gets turned into a shrimp from here. He's already on his side. Oh, comes back. Chris needs to kind of isolate an arm. He's just kind of hand fighting right now. And Ernest gets a trap and roll. Nice. This is from another sparring round. Gabe on top and Vince on the bottom here. Oh, easy escape. Throws, fishes that ankle. Okay, right now it's a little bit hard, but Vince should try and turn to his right and start pushing away on this leg so he could get his right knee through into the closed guard. A little bit hard because Gabe has a crossface here. Up, manages to free the crossface. And look, good connection from the knee to elbow here. It's going to be very hard for Gabe to maintain that half guard position. Yep, and fishes his way back into the closed guard. Got Chris on top and Ernest on the bottom in another sparring match. Chris doing a good job. Okay, there he goes for the high key lock again. And Ernest manages to... Okay, that was very good. Let's go back and look at that. So, Ernest got a little bit of movement going to the right. As he goes back left, Chris is going to leave his right leg a little bit too wide. And you're going to see this leg of Ernest, his left leg, come in for the butterfly. Boom. And look, Chris's hips are way too high. Ernest manages to get one. I think he's got both knees in right now. He's got both knees in, and that's going to make it very difficult for your opponent to mount you. Manages to use the butterfly and elects to go back to closed guard. Very good. So now we got a reverse situation in sparring. Ernest is on top. Chris is on the bottom. Let's see how this match plays out. Not quite sure what Chris is doing with the hands, but as we can see here, he's caught in a double grapevine. No good. Also, his arms are extending up because he wants to keep Ernest's chest off of him. That's one of those things you're going to have to get used to. Your opponent's definitely going to try and smother you with their chest. Honestly, I'm not saying let it happen, but it is one of those things that you have to kind of get used to. His arms are so extended right now. I'd be worried about him getting submitted from here. Pushing with your elbows is okay. Pushing with your hands from the mount, I'm not a big fan. You should be straightening out one leg to get rid of the... Oh, he got rid of the grapevines. Looks like he's going to go right. Goes right. Doesn't quite get the foot, but let's go back and see how that worked out. He didn't quite trap the foot when he exploded. Look, you could see completely forgot, but it's actually stuck underneath him right now, so Ernest can't use it to post out this way. He's got his hand trapped. He's trying to save himself with his opposite hand, but just like we went over in the technique portion today, if you angle out correctly, it's going to be very hard for your opponent to use their opposite hand to save him. And it doesn't save him in this case. Good job, Chris. Another sparring match with Gabe on top, and it looks like we got Vince on the bottom here. Looks like they're in the middle of a match, if I remember correctly. Oh, easy fish over with the ankle. Same thing. If Vince can get to his right, he could really start bringing his right knee in, especially if he connects his right knee to his right elbow. Okay, Gabe is doing a good job not letting Chris use that arm. Chris kind of needs that arm to push down on Gabe's leg in order to get his right leg through for the closed guard, if that's what he's looking for. If he's looking for the half guard, he should be reaching with his left underhook. He might be able to pass. I believe he does pass again from here. Very nice. Yeah, all because he managed to freeze Vince's right arm. Good job, Gabe. I don't even know if he knew what he had. But now he's back in the mount. So, gets lazy, and in my opinion, Gabe's giving up that ankle a little bit too early, or maybe Vince is just doing a good job fishing for it. Still got a problem with his right hand, though. Okay, now he starts to come up, changes the angle a little bit, and I believe the match ends right there. All right, we got Bob on top and Ernest on the bottom. Oh, okay. Let's see what happened there. So, looks like Bob has a very, very deep crossface here. My guess is his ankle is trapped on the other side, and he wasn't able to get his right arm out in time to save him. Ernest has kind of a weird post here, but if it works, right? Yeah, bridges from that position, gets him right over. Very nice.